What is up, everybody? It is the ZipZapZop, and today we're playing a bit of Reach. Yes, it's weird, I know, and I probably should be playing Halo 4 on all accounts, but I thought it would be interesting and kind of cool to show you guys all of these major things I built that never ended up getting released to the public, or finished so they couldn't be released, and just things like that. Because I actually have a lot of stuff created that never ended up just being finalized and being put out. So, we're going to get into that, I guess. And plus it's Reach, and I mean, what's not fun about playing Reach a little bit? I don't know, it was entertaining to get to fine edit a bit and such. So, yeah. Anyways, this map itself does not have a title, though it was built in the same aesthetic and spirit as the event in Fortune 501, if you remember those maps. If not, the trailers are still on my channel. But it's a destroyed city with high-rises toppling over and everything else. But rather than being way up in the downtown area with huge height and all that other stuff that those two maps had, this is set more in the outlying regions, not the huge commercial hub of everything, but rather the smaller, more, not quite a slum really, not what the word I'm looking for, but just not the heart of the city, but an outlying region, I guess. That works. And so it was built in the same spirit as that. It never ended up getting finished, obviously, although I think this would have worked well with the Armageddon game type that me and an Epic Potato made. So, yeah, that's that map. Interesting, I think, at least. And moving right along, this one was very close to being done and released. Unfortunately, I didn't quite get that done, obviously, because you're seeing it now, but this is originally designed as a machinima set. If you guys have seen the machinima I put up, or you might have a passing knowledge, I suppose, of what this is supposed to be. It's Deck 10 on the aircraft carrier. I'm probably going to show you a few more maps off of that, actually, because I have some cool stuff built for the carrier. But yeah, this draws a lot of inspiration from Metroid Prime 3, the GFS Olympus ship design. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's the very first level in the game. But this build, and a lot of the carrier builds really, draw inspiration, at least from the interior of that ship, because I thought it was very cool. The whole artwork of Metroid Prime 3 was just way ahead of its time in my mind. So yeah, that's what this is. It's a vehicle storage repair bay, amalgam of things, really. It's just meant to look very functional. In the actual machinima, this thing was scripted as having a lot of bad stuff happening, so I tried to make the ceilings kind of high. I know that's not accurate how a real aircraft carrier would be. A real aircraft carrier would make use of the space to the maximum extent, so the ceilings would not be that high, unneeded. And so, yeah, I know it's not quite accurate, but it was mainly for the camera angles and just because I thought it looked interesting like that. It doesn't have to be 100% down to it, in my mind at least. And so this was actually probably going to be adapted to gameplay. The thought had crossed my mind, though I never ended up doing it, because I built this as a machinima set. And then afterwards, I kind of looked at my teleporter setup, and I looked at the map and thought, this would be interesting to play on. I might do it. Because there's 3 teleporters you saw back at spawn, and they lead to just these points around the map. And so, it would have worked well for gameplay purposes, I think. I never ended up doing it, but it was just something. It was a concept, I guess. Alright, so this map is, I don't know, it's small, but it's not small. It's a small, miniaturized replica of New York City. It's big, but it's small in that context, if I'm making sense, which I'm probably not. But yeah, it's just set up like that. A lot of blocks. Me and my friend For an Accent, we made this a while ago. I just joined his game and he had a big start on this, and I thought, this is kind of interesting. I'll help him make this. We'll see. It could turn into something interesting. And so it's just kind of gimmicky. I don't really know. There's no purpose whatsoever. And it was originally built on a plane of wall coliseums, but we got the bright idea to just be like, we could make it like the day after tomorrow and delete them all and make it like flooded. So that's what we did. You can see that didn't, get worked too hard because there's buildings floating above the water and all this other stuff. But I think on the whole it looks pretty cool, pretty interesting to look at. Just different, I guess, than most of the normal map design. We even included the Statue of Liberty and a bridge over to Jersey because we pay attention to detail. Somewhat. So yeah, that's that map. I mean, just very aesthetic. Not a lot to be said, really, but I thought it was interesting. Alright, so this is a purely machinima-based map. It was never going beyond that stage, but I love the aesthetics. I thought it would be cool to just quickly run through this. This, again, is for the aircraft carrier. This was actually in the first part of my machinima. I had Fleet Admiral Harper standing up there, barking orders at people and launching missiles and all this other stuff. And so, it was interesting. The whole concept of this is very similar to the bridge on the GFS Olympus from Metroid Prime 3, because again, inspiration drawn from that game, because it's very cool, the design they have there. But yeah, just terminals down there that would control various stuff like the ship's weapon systems and lockdowns on decks and all this other stuff. That's what those terminals down there are meant to control. There's big, massive computer banks for, it's the future, right? It's in like the 2020s, so it could be a thing. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that like a giant glass thing like that, a wall of glass like that, would not be really practical or safe in an actual carrier practical design. But, I think we can take some certain exceptions for the sake of filmmaking. So, yeah, that's this map. Again, very straightforward. Inspiration drawn from Prime 3 a lot. If you haven't played that game, I would definitely recommend it. It was one of the things that made me actually enjoy having my Wii. And if not, you could just look up a few gameplay videos of it to see what I've been inspired by. But moving right along, this map is another set, but this one was fully made for gameplay, and then it just ended up getting canceled before it went to the public. Or I suppose it didn't really get canceled, it just kind of got lost in a sea of other bigger, more important projects and just kind of got forgotten. This is one of the only maps meant for a small amount of people I've ever made in infection mode. It's obviously very small, very simple, basic box design with a bunch of stuff filling it in. Destruction, because that's kind of my trademark, destruction, so yeah, that's what this is. Very basic. It's a heavily adapted version of Docking Bay 5, but that's just the general concept. And zombies will spawn on this boat back here and then kind of flood the humans as they wander around the map. People can go anywhere on this, pretty much. The very back of the boat there is soft-killed, but everything else is available, reachable, and such. So, yeah, I mean, this one was interesting. It played surprisingly well for what it is. And it was fun. I probably should have released it, but just the trailer cinematic work never got done, and now we're here. But anyways, thanks for watching this if you did. I know it's wrong, and probably, I'm just being a sinner by not playing Halo 4, but I thought this was fun. It was nice to play Reach again, look at some of the old stuff, and just, I don't know, not really nostalgia, but just to kind of see. It's entertaining, and I find it fun. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm the Zip Zap Zop. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.